Good evening and welcome to tonight's driver's ed class. We're going to wait for everybody to sign in. It's one of my favorite classes to teach, so I'm excited to go over the material for tonight. I think it's the backbone of information that's needed to start becoming a knowledgeable driver. Sign signals and pavement markings, it really is the crunch of getting you to the point where you're going to be a good, safe driver. So we'll just wait a few minutes for people to sign on. Make sure you have something to write with, because we're going to do a little bit of a quiz in just a moment once I see people popping in. Since I see there we go. I really wish this was a closer to a actual true feed. This lag time is killing me, knowing that you can't necessarily hear everything that I'm saying until about 30 seconds after I say it. So I do have, let me see, I think, let me check my phone here. I do have an opening Friday at 3 o'clock. So if someone wants to text me at some point, I want to fill that up. And on Saturday, I've got 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock, 1 o'clock, and 4 o'clock. All right, so I'm looking for drivers. And then all next week, I believe Monday, Tuesday, anytime that you want to drive next week, it's really wide open right now. So drive as often as you can. I'm going to try to fill up the schedule as best we can. So it looks like we only have 10 people viewing. Let me count. See what we've got here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. We're missing some people. Well, oh, we got one more. There we go. Okay, we got 11. I know a couple of people are going to be out, but I thought it was only 2, so we're still missing like 2 or 3. This is what I want to do to start off the night, to make sure that you have a basic understanding, that you think you know what's going on when you're going down the road and reading your signs. I am going to give you a quiz right now. I'm going to put it on the screen. I am going to time it. Let's see if I can find a timer. So hold on a second. Let's see if I can get the timer, and let's change it to, hold on here. I'm trying to see what I can do here to change the time. Let's go down 6 minutes. All right, so there it is. Okay, we got a timer. I'm gonna freeze it right there. You're gonna have 6 minutes to do this. All right. So get out a piece of paper. Okay, and I am going to put the sign test on the screen now. What I want you to do is just get a blank piece of paper, and I'm going to give you some shapes of signs and then meanings at the bottom, and you're supposed to match them. All right. So here it is. Well, what happened to my? I'm going to get out of that for a second. Hold on. What happened to my timer? Oh, I see what happened. There's my timer. Okay, let me get my timer. And oh, my sign test left. That's not good. That's not good. Okay, hold on. We're going to have to stop it. This technology is crazy. So let's go back. Just got to bear with me here for a minute. It's really hard when I have to scroll through all my files and find what I want you to do. Oh, there it is. There it is. Okay. Now I'll put the timer on this screen here. And I'll give you extra time. Let me move that over. There we go. All right. I'm going to give you not quite 9 minutes, but we'll say I'll stop it when it gets down to 2. So I want to see how well you can do this. Because remember, your state driving test is going to be timed. You have 40 minutes with 40 questions. So I'm not going to give you 30 minutes for multiple choice or matching. So good luck. People can see me. Okay, I think we're back on. So it looks like I apologize. I don't know why it said a poor internet connection. I just upgraded 2, 3 months ago. I got a new router, so I don't know why I'm having this problem. But please let me know either by text message or by a YouTube comment if there's any issue with the video, the sound. And I'm going to go over the answers in just a moment. So I'll let it get down to 6 minutes. Okay, thanks for letting me know about the buffering. All right, 10 more seconds, and then we're going to get right to the answers. All right, let's take a look at um, the answers. So let's see if I can get up here. Whoa, split screen. See if I can move this over. Okay. And now let me get right out of the... When you take a matching test like this, what you need to take a look at, if you take a look at the signs up at the top, let's take a look at A, C, E, G, and I. All right? So what I want you to think about, do these signs A, C, E, G, and I have one meaning or more than one meaning? Okay, they have one meaning. So once you use those signs down below, you don't use them again. They only have one meaning. If you take a look at D and F, those signs are orange signs. Orange, if you did your reading, deals with construction. So now you don't use those signs any longer after you fill them in down below. The rest of this quiz was between B and H. B is a warning sign, okay, warning you about something that's going to happen. And then H deals with laws, things that you must always do. So this entire quiz was really probably the majority between the B and H sign. So let's see how well you did. All right. Here's the answers. Number 1, 35 miles per hour is H. 2, a bump, that's a warning, that's B. Dead end is a B sign, that's a warning. Detour, that's F. 5, detour 1,000 feet, that's D. 6, divided highway ends, that's B. 7, do not enter is G. 8, do not pass is H. 9, end of construction is F. 10, flagman 500 feet is D. 11, a hill, that's a warning, that's B. Now, left turn sign is really an H. That is telling you at an intersection with a traffic light that some lanes go right, some go left, some go straight. So by law, if you're in that lane, you have to go in that direction. 13, no parking anytime is H. 14, no passing zone is C. 15, no turn on red is H. 16, no U-turn is H. 17, pass with care is H. 18, road machinery ahead is D. 19, road narrows is B. Slippery when wet is B. 21, soft shoulder is B. 22, speed limit 35 is H. Now, if anybody got 23 wrong, okay, you should start the program from the beginning, okay, or you haven't been doing your reading. 24, stop ahead is B. 25, stop for school bus is B. 26, stop here on red is H. Truck route is H. And we have one of those signs in Dover near Red Shoe Barn, and we have another one near the Children's Museum. 28, two-way traffic is B. 29, wrong way is I. And 30 is yield. Okay? Now, if this was your state exam, you can only miss 6 signs. So don't be ashamed, because believe me, I've had people that have only gotten like 5 or 6 right. So what I want you to do for public humiliation, I want everybody to put how many you got wrong in the YouTube comments. So everyone, we can all suffer together. I've been using this quiz for probably 20 years, and I will tell you that I've never had a class where I haven't had at least 10 people get more than 15 wrong. Every class, at least 10 people. So don't be ashamed if you get a lot wrong. So put it in the comments and we can all get a chuckle out of it. Because at times we think we know what's happening out on the roadway. We think, oh, and everybody tells me, Mr. Toll, I can read a sign. I know you can. I know you can read. But what's going to happen when you see a sign that's covered by a branch or by snow is starting to adhere to that sign? You should know by the shape, or if you can see part of the color, it is still giving you some information. Even if you don't know what the law is, you know there's a sign up there that deals with a law. Same thing with yellow about warning. Okay, red not to do something. So that's important. So let's get out of that and get right to class. So 15 wrong, 7 wrong. Wow, that's pretty good, Drew. Garrett, that's pretty good. 4? Maura, you crushed it. Okay, good. Nice job. All right. So let's go right into what we're going to be covering: sign signals and pavement markings. How to make sense of the road ahead for safe travel. So this was taken when I was instructing. We were leaving the high school. We were going up past the junior high towards Madbury Road. And I said this would probably be a pretty good picture for my introduction to this section. And the reason why I took it is that the only thing that's missing is a signal, but we do have sign and pavement markings. If you're not paying attention to the roadway markings, you may think it's a two-way roadway. If you look beyond the intersection, it does become a two-way roadway. But you are on a one-way road right now. And a lot of people say, why do we have a stop sign on the left side of the road? Well, guess what? There's a left turning lane. If there are cars that are blocking your view, you're not even going to know there's a stop sign there. So they put up multiple stops on one-way streets, and they put it in particular areas where your vision could be blocked off to the right where you wouldn't see the stop sign. So let's go through some basic information about, there it is. I had it right in the, I didn't even know that I had it in my PowerPoint. Now, sometimes you're driving down the road and signs are clumped together, and there's a whole lot of information to figure out. You wouldn't probably be able to read it quickly if you're going 30 miles per hour. But notice everything here has to do with parking. So probably your car has stopped or in a parking spot, so you're able to kind of read. And what I thought was really interesting about the sign is that it says no parking anytime to the left, but you can park to the right for 15 minutes, but only between 6 in the morning and 6 at night. And then down below, that if you're parking on this side of the street where you're reading the sign, on the 2nd and the 4th of the Tuesday of the month, you can't park on this side of the street. And you're probably getting a headache just trying to read this and figure it out. But there is a good chance you're going to get towed if you do not figure out what this sign means and park here when you're not supposed to. So read, read, read. Understand what signs are trying to convey and tell you. Now, what I want you to write down in your notes, every time that you think about signs and signals, break it up into 4 categories. And this is the way that we had it in the textbook. Color, shape. That's the thing that really gets our attention if we're looking way down the road. When we talked about target, looking 20, 30 seconds down the road, I see a color, I see a yellow, I see it's a diamond. All that information you're starting to process the minute you start to look at it. So color and shape are what comes to mind first when we think of signs. And then all signs will be broken up into 2 other categories. One is warning, that's down at the bottom, number 4. And 3, regulatory means law. Okay, so law or warning. Now, of all the colors that we have out on the roadway, can you guess what color is the most important to find and to see when you're driving? If you said red, you'd be correct. Okay, red means stop or prohibition. Now, the most common red sign that we have on the roadway is our stop sign. Now, a couple things about the stop sign here, and I like this picture. If you're given a choice between stopping at the stop sign or stop line, you should always use the line. That is why they painted it there. They could have made it even with the sign. Now, in this particular case, the sign, it's like a little bit of a bend to a road. They put it right closest to the edge of the road at the middle part of that little bend. That's so you see it a little bit better. If you don't see a line, stop at the sign first. But I can't see if I stop at the sign. That's your legal stop. So you've done what you're required to do. Now kind of creep out little by little by little. And we call those safety stops. Notice there is a line though, and there's probably about a 5-6 foot difference. The other 2 signs at the bottom, do not enter in wrong way. This is a picture of an off-ramp on a highway. Can you think of a type of a person that would actually go up that off-ramp? If you were thinking about someone that was under the influence of alcohol, absolutely. Happens all the time. How about a new driver? I've had students of mine, okay? You're not reading your signs, but you see a roadway, and I say we're going to go on the highway today. So you see the highway way up there on the hill, cars going by, you go, oh, this must where I go. You're not reading your signs or your pavement markings. So drunk drivers and new drivers, you guys drive alike. You can't keep a good speed. You're all over the road, going the wrong way. Okay? That's why you're here. Okay? To get you better. Okay? Red means stop or don't do something. So what is the difference between a rolling stop and a resting stop? This kind of ties into what we talked about last night. A resting stop is one that has pitch. A rolling stop is where the tires never come to a full resting stop. So if you look at a car coming to the right or left of you and you see that the wheel or the rim of the tire, the hubcap, it's still rotating, you've never come to a stop. You've got to wait till that hubcap starts moving. That's a resting stop. Now, this is out in front of my yard. This is right where that fence is the house next to me, so it's pretty close to my front yard. I can't tell you how many people run the stop sign right here, off to the left. They and write this down in your notes. When you make a right-hand turn, you're more likely to roll through a right-hand turn than a left turn. Because when you make a left turn, you've got to check traffic in both directions. You look left, you look right, look back to the left again, it looks clear, now you go. While you're making those checks, you're probably stopping. But when you come to an intersection like this and you're going to the right and you look to the left as you approach and you see no traffic, in your mind you think because you are going slow that you've come to a stop. But you haven't. You're still kind of rolling. That's a rolling stop. Stop lines, if you have a difficult time with stop lines, use the end of the curb. Wherever the curb ends is where the stop line is usually painted. Or if you have a center line, like here we have a solid white line between the two lanes, use the very end of that solid line. So if you're having a difficult time figuring out where to stop, use the end of the lines or the curb. That's the best. That's going to prevent you from going into traffic. The next category of signs, and there are 7 colors that I want you to know. So the first one's red, second one is white. Now, you want to sound intelligent to your parent tonight? Once you're done driver's ed, or if they're around the room right now, ask your parents how many subcategories of a white sign are there. They're going to look at you like, what do you mean subcategories? When we think of white, we think of law, and we think of a speed limit. Speed limit is a law. But a white sign is broken into 3 subcategories: white with black, white with red, and white with green. So write this down. You're going to need to know this for the midterm. White with black is telling you to do something. White with red is telling you not to do something. White with green is guiding you to what's legal. Notice on the white and green sign that it tells you that you can only park for 2 hours. Guess what? You park for 3 hours, you've got a parking ticket. You park all day Saturday for 10 hours, you don't get a ticket. Well, wait a minute, it says 2 hours, but only Monday through Friday. You've got to read the whole sign. Very important to get the information that it's trying to convey to you. Next sign, blue. Blue means motorist services. If I had you in class, this is the class, like I said, I really enjoy teaching because it really gets the whole class involved. But a blue sign would be like we have in the top picture: handicap, lodging, gas, food, camping. And usually we find these signs on the highway. So blue signs, motor services. Okay, know that. Yellow is the most common type of sign that we find. And I am going to have everybody do this right now. So make sure that you read the notes or the comments up on YouTube here, because there's only 13 of you watching right now. Everyone right now has to put in a comment a yellow sign that you would find out on the roadway. There can be no duplicates. So if you don't get your example up on the screen, and I'm going to take them in order. So you got to give me an example of a yellow sign that we would find on the road. We need 15. Or actually, we only have 13 watching. We have a class of 15, but only 13 watching. So the other 2 that are going to watch it tomorrow are going to have to think of a yellow sign that's not used right now. So come up with a yellow sign. Okay, the first one, bump. Okay, Ben's got the first one. Good. Let's see who else comes up with it. And remember, I don't want you to duplicate. School zone, good. Traffic light ahead, good. Sharp turn ahead, good. Right curve, good. Chevron sign, excellent. I know we can do it. See, some of you that are late typing in, you're going to have to think of one. Intersection ahead, absolutely. Come on. There's got to be a couple more of you that haven't done it. Let me count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Speed limit drops, correct? No outlet, good. Dead end, good. No outlet and dead end is almost the same. So, Garrett, I'm going to make you do yours again. No outlet is basically dead end. Come up with another one, Garrett. No passing zone, good. School zones, another example of how the law changes, meaning that school speed limits are only enforced when school is coming into session and when school is getting out of session. So the sign that's off to the left, they give you a time frame. It's 45 minutes before school opens, so 8:15 to 9, and then when school closes, 2:45 to 3:30. So make sure that you understand, and we're going to be going over speed next week. Two-way traffic, good, nice, very good, Garrett. So write it down in your notes because school is going in session in the next, oh, that's right, you guys are remote. So school isn't going in. Well, that's a good question. Elementary school is going into session. I take that back. So we are going to have to adhere to these speed limits. So right now, if I have some of you driving in the next day or two, we're going to go by Mastway and Mohammed. That's your first drive with me. We go by those two schools. So depending on when you sign up, it may be one of these time frames, but we're not going to have to go that speed limit because we're not in that school calendar year. So just remember, it doesn't account for vacations and holidays and time off in the summer. It's just regular speed. Green signs are direction or guidance. And we'll talk more about route numbers a little bit later today. Interstate, state routes, they're a little bit different. I thought this was kind of an interesting sign. Normally it's, Dover, 5 miles away. Somersworth, 13. Surrounding towns, you get information. This was taken by my nephew. He lives in the West Coast, up in Oregon. Interstate 20, okay? If you got on Interstate 20, it goes above the top part of the United States. It goes from the West Coast to the East Coast. So if you got on this road here in Oregon, it would take you to Boston, Mass., and you're going to travel 3,365 miles. That's crazy. It's a pretty funny sign, actually. Brown sign is the sign that you see the least.